Each of us will remember what happened that day and to whom it happened. We'll remember the moment the news came, where we were and what we were doing. Some will remember an image of a fire or a story of rescue. Some will carry memories of a face and a voice gone forever. And I will carry this. It is the police shield of a man named George Howard, who died at the World Trade Center trying to save others.
Because I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
We took the traditional lands and smashed the traditional way of life. We brought the diseases and the alcohol. We committed the murders.
I've been your First Lady, served 8 years as a senator from the great state of New York. Then I represented all of you as Secretary of State.
Before this campaign is out, I shall have completed 20 years as a Member of Parliament.
I come here not as a polished politician, but as a woman who has her fair share of life's knocks. My view on issues is based on common sense, and my experience as a mother of 4 children, a sole parent, and a businesswoman running a fish and chip shop.
In the UK, suicide is the biggest killer of men, between 20 to 49.
Scientists reported with unprecedented alarm that the North Polar ice cap is, in their words, falling off a cliff. One study estimated that it could be completely gone during summer in less than 22 years.
Now this government wants to sell Telstra, a company that made $1.2 billion profit last year and will make $2 billion profit this year, but first they want to sack 54,000 employees to show better profits and share prices. Anyone with business sense knows that you don't sell off your assets, especially when they're making money.
But we will decide who comes to this country and the circumstances in which they come.
We apologise for the laws and policies of successive parliaments and governments that have inflicted profound grief, suffering and loss on these our fellow Australians.
I say to the Leader of the Opposition, I will not be lectured about sexism and misogyny by this man. I will not.
In darker days, I did a corporate gig at a conference for this big company who made and sold accounting software. In a bid, I presume, to inspire their salespeople to greater heights, they'd forked out 12 grand for an inspirational speaker who was this extreme sports guy who had had a couple of his limbs frozen off when he got stuck on a ledge on some mountain.
Today, I want to tell you 3 stories from my life. That's it. No big deal. Just 3 stories. The first story is about connecting the dots. I dropped out of Reed College after the first 6 months, but then stayed around as a drop-in for another 18 months or so before I really quit. So why'd I drop out?
I started questioning gender-based assumptions a long time ago. When I was 8, I was confused being called bossy because I wanted to direct the plays that we would put on for our parents. But the boys were not. When at 14, I started to be sexualized by certain elements of the media. When at 15, my girlfriends started dropping out of their beloved sports teams because they didn't want to appear muscly.
Not now, not ever.
The decision we will make for our country on the 2nd of December is a choice between the past and the future, between the habits and fears of the past and the demands and opportunities of the future.
There is a new divide, the taxed and the tax-nots.
For the pain, suffering and hurt of these stolen generations,
I will not yield. I will not rest. I will not relent in waging this struggle for freedom and security for the American people.
Our program has three great aims: to promote equality, to involve the people of Australia in the decision-making processes of our land, and to liberate the talents and uplift the horizons of the Australian people.
Yes, we can. When the bombs fell on our harbor and tyranny threatened the world, she was there to witness a generation rise to greatness and a democracy was saved. Yes, we can. She was there for the buses in Montgomery, the hoses in Birmingham, a bridge in Selma, and a preacher from Atlanta who told the people that we shall overcome. Yes, we can.
I was offended when the Leader of the Opposition went outside in the front of Parliament and stood next to a sign that said, "Ditch the witch." I was offended when the Leader of the Opposition stood next to a sign that described me as a man's bitch. I was offended by those things.
We shall fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the landing grounds, we shall fight in the fields and in the streets, we shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender.